Good morning, this is Neil Spate, Thurrock News at Terp's Corner in Grays. This is one of the traditional opening ceremonies for Remembrance Sunday that takes place across the country, and in many ways typifies the fact that this is a nationwide event. I mean, as you can see, there are a number of children who have turned up, local residents, to honour the fallen from this small parish. And later on today there will be much larger services. I'll be attending the one in Stamford-le-Hope, and then hopefully at least one of the ones that are planned for this afternoon. But across the community, these are happening, and I'll now turn over to the chairman of Grace, Royal British Legion, Rod Oakley.
But then here we are 103 years after the memorial was installed in 1921, and we're still remembering them, which is great. So it's sort of a non-religious sort of thing that I tend to do, but we will sing, say the Lord's Prayer a little bit later on, and we'll all sing the national anthem together. What I normally do then is we introduce our councillors. So I'd like to thank Councillor Rob Gladhill for attending this morning, and Jimmy from Little Thurrock Post Office, who's representing the Conservative Party. And no other councillors as well come along this morning. What I normally do is to read off the names of the people on the memorial so that we can remember them. And then this year again, I've found 3 of the names on the list and done a little bit of research about them. And I'll tell you a little bit about 3 of the people who passed in the First World War. The names of the fallen of the First World War during 1914-1919. Ansel, S.H. Alexander, A.W.H. Alexander, R.H. Baker, C.W. Blundell, W. Bowen, T. Bullock, H.A. Bullock, W.J. Clark, H.H. Collins, T. Collins, T.H. Cooper, W.A. Davy, R. Davis, G.W.T. Dodge, S.R. We're talking about him in a little while. Emerson, F.H. Evans, T. Garland, B.H. Gore, R.C. Green, W. Gwynn, S. Hawkes, B. Hicks, A.C.H. Hicks, E.E. Holliman, H.J. Jackson, H. Mann, H.S. Mean, H.B. We talked about him. Moore, G.H. Oates, A.J. Pentecost, L.D. Richardson, G. Smith, L.E. Spanton, R.W. Spooner, A.C. Spooner, A. Tandy, W.L. Taylor, E.G. Taylor, G. Ward, J. Wheaton, E. Wilson, A. Wood, A.W. Wood, A. Wood, G. Wordley, A.W.L. Whitby, H.J.F. and Long, J.W. On the back of the memorial are 3 names from the Second World War, which is Walmer, B.W., Legg, H.J. and Murrell, N.W. So the first description is about Samuel Robert Dodge, service number 602780, whose rank was Baker, on a mercantile marine reserve ship called HMS Clan McNaughton. The date of death was the 3rd of February 1915. He was aged 40 years old. He is buried or commemorated at Plymouth Naval Memorial. here's some information about the HMS Clan McNaughton. With the loss of all 281 people on board, the cause doesn't appear to be known, but some wreckage was found and the ship may have struck a mine. The armed merchant cruiser from the 10th Cruiser Squadron, HMS Clan McNaughton, was a Royal Navy armed merchant cruiser which was sunk during severe gales off the coast of Ireland. She sank off the north coast of Ireland on the 3rd of February 1915. The cruiser is thought to have floundered with all 281 officers and crew, including the captain, Commander Robert Jeffreys, Royal Navy, presumed drowned. Samuel Robert Dodge was the son of John and Louisa Dodge of Felton, Middlesex, husband of Francis Louisa Dodge of 32 Rectory Road, Little Thurrock, Grays, Essex. Probably right the way down the bottom, near to where the bakery shop is, near the Chilwell Hall. The next name then is R.C. Gore, who was a sapper, service number Whiskey Romeo 500839 of the Royal Engineers Inland Water Transport Department. The date of death was the 13th of November 1918, 2 days after the cessation of the war in the First World War. He was aged 30 years old and is buried or commemorated at St. Sever Cemetery Extension in Rouen in France. In December 1914, as part of the Railways Directorate, the Inland Water Transport and Dock Section was formed to deal with transportation along the canals and waterways in France and Belgium. It became a separate section in October 1915 and grew rapidly in size with its headquarters in Richborough, Kent. Sappers operated in a variety of roles and worked to maintain communication and transport of food, supplies, ammunition and the evacuation of the wounded. R.C. Gore was the son of Mr. and Mrs. R.S. Gore of 13 Whitehall Road, Grays, Essex. The third name I'm going to read out is Henry Benjamin Mean, who was a private, service number 20890 of the King's Shropshire Light Infantry, 5th Battalion. The date of death was the 18th of March 1917, and he's buried or commemorated at Arras Memorial in France. Now I couldn't really find any specifics about him, however I did look at some of the censuses, and in the 1891 census I found his father, and he was a 5-year-old. So by the time of World War II, he would have been approximately in his 30s. His profession was a paper maker, living at 37 George Street, one in Bray, down by the Oxford State line. The likelihood is he was involved in this action, which was regarding Passchendaele, or the action was shortly before Passchendaele. Stage 4 the advance of the Hindenburg Line 1917. Operations on the Anchor, 11th of January to 13th of March 1917. Operations on the Anchor. Final flickering of the Somme offensive as British seek localised tactical advantage in right but the valley of the River Anchor. The operation then was the German retreat to the Hindenburg Line on the 14th of March to the 5th of April. During the Somme fighting of 1916, the Germans constructed a formidable new defensive system some miles towards their rear. from March 1917 they began to withdraw into it, giving up ground, but in carrying out Operation Albericht, they make that ground as uninhabitable and difficult as possible. British detected the withdrawal and continuously followed up and advanced and brought to a standstill at the outskirts of the city. That was totally the action. Service where I say the exhortation, the bugler will play the last note, bugler will play Reveille, and then I will say the words of Bohemia. Standard bearers. Carry standards. They shall grow to old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
gave out today. Now start the free-flame session.
Councillor Rob Bradhill, laying a wreath on behalf of Thurrock Council. Former Count Jimmy Tandy, representing Thurrock Conservative Party. And a wreath from Sabrina Oakley for the Royal British Legion, Grace Thurrock Branch. And now perhaps the most poignant part, young children and local people will come forward and lay their markers. Amazing that so many generations later, children, and as we can see, older people, continue to pay tribute and respect.
Anybody else? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Standard bearers, order, standards. Standard bearers, stand up, please.
And as the parade is dismissed and the notes of the national anthem fade away, this short ceremony, representative of so many across the country, comes to an end. As I say, Nub News will be broadcasting live from Stamford later on today. There will be many other ceremonies around 11 o'clock. Civic Centre in Tilbury, at Tilbury, the War Memorial in Grays, just two of the larger ones, but there will be many more, and unfortunately we can't be at all of them. But if anyone has a picture or would like to make a note of an event, please send me a video or a picture. Neil.Speight, S-P-E-I-G-H-T @nub.news, and in our roundup of the events, I'll be delighted to cover it. There's Neil Spate, Thurrock News, Terps Corner in Grays.